Welcome to another Tasty Tuesday on Christy's A+ Cooking. This week's theme is G is for grilling greats. If I could have a guest cook this week, it would be my son-in-law Cliff, who lives in California, so he's not going to be my guest cook. But I decided to wear Lindsay's apron from her reception in his honor. He is a grill master. I wanted to share, today's recipe is going to be my teriyaki chicken recipe. When I went to BYU the summer of 1984, so I could take some professional development classes and just have fun. So I moved into Crestwood Apartments, and there was this one apartment of really fun guys, and one of them, Dave, went on a mission to Hawaii, and he got the best teriyaki marinade recipe. He would actually cut up a roast and marinate the slices, and I found that to be kind of tedious, and so I just started making it on steak. And then one time I said, hey, let's try it on chicken, and that became our go-to recipe. However, as I was looking over the recipe, I discovered that it had MSG in it, and I'd heard that it's not good for you, and I had a lot of friends that were actually allergic to MSG. So I decided to healthify it. So this is really my recipe now. I cut the sugar in half, I cut the oil in half, and there's no MSG. And no salt. I didn't add any salt because the soy sauce has plenty. So we're gonna get started on making the marinade. I doubled the recipe, so I'm adding 2 cups of soy sauce. And then you're gonna add about 5 to 6 green onions cut. And again, we're gonna cut them with our scissors. Real handy to do it that way, and it's quick. And you're going to need about 1/2 cup of sugar and 2 tablespoons of oil, like that's what I cut in half. And then you're going to add pepper to taste. And then 4 cloves of garlic minced. If you want to be lazy, you can just use the kind in the jar. But I decided to splurge and use the fresh garlic tonight with my garlic press. And then you're just going to whisk it all together. Now I usually use whole chicken breasts that are cut in half, but I wanted to try a little something with a twist this time. We're going to have pineapple teriyaki shish kebabs tomorrow, because we're going to marinate this overnight. And we're going to pour, once it's nice and stirred and the sugar's dissolved, we're just going to pour it over the chicken. I did forget to cut that last piece of chicken. I used the scissors to cut them into chunks. And whenever you're working with raw chicken, you want to make sure you wash your hands. And then you're going to marinate the chicken. Usually if it's a whole chicken breast, you want to marinate it at least 5 hours or overnight. And with the chicken chunks, I think you only need to marinate it 3 to 4 hours. So we'll be back after the chicken is marinated, and we'll show you how to grill it and set up the shish kebabs. Now the fun begins. After your chicken has marinated for however long you want, maybe 2 to 3 hours if you want a more mild flavor, or overnight if you like a strong teriyaki flavor. Each person can create their own kebab. This one is especially for my sister Tam, and this one is for Ken because he doesn't like pineapple. Anyway, we're gonna just go ahead and I'll make one more skewer. So your chicken's over here marinated, and you need to put in vegetables or something in between your chicken so it will cook more evenly. You can just do it a pattern, however you want. If you want to use bamboo skewers, you need to soak them overnight in water so that they don't catch on fire and burn. But you can see I have metal ones. That's my preference. And you do not want to use the marinade to baste your chicken while they're grilling because of the potential salmonella. If you want to baste them, you need to make sure that after you make your marinade and before you add your chicken, that you reserve about 1/2 cup. So don't use this. You're going to discard this and not use it to baste. I think our grill's almost ready for us to put them on. As you can see, we're having a little windstorm here, but you're going to heat the grill up, put on your skewers, and you're going to cook them for about 6 to 8 minutes. But you're going to want to check to make sure that the meat is done, and you also turn them over about halfway. I've been turning them every 3 or so minutes, and they've been cooking for almost 8 minutes. I think they need a couple of more minutes. Sure, I'm excited to try these out. One thing that you can do for the pineapple is you can make a glaze of 1/2 cup of honey and a teaspoon of cinnamon and brush them on before you serve them. I wanted to draw attention to my Pampered Chef silicone helpers on my grill. That's another Tasty Tuesday, and I'll see you next week.